Root Access. Episode 1. The Shadow Treasure. First Act. A Desperate Client.
10 years ago, Julian Price knew nothing about cryptocurrencies, but he always had a good instinct for businesses and opportunities. After breaking the sales record at a small insurance company in the big city, he got his first ever performance bonus. Julian spent some money on gifts for the family, bought his soon-to-be fiancée a brand new dress, ending with a big party for his closest friends. One of them, Elias, was investing in a new technology at the time, called crypto coins.
You are going to get scammed.
Marin, Julian's fiancée, shouted across the bar when she saw Elias wearing a t-shirt with the legend, "Big Crypto Holder," printed in giant capital letters.
I made $2,000 in a month, and I just put in less than 100.
He replied, with a witty smile on his face. Marin's relationship with Elias was just cordial. After all, he was Julian's best friend, from childhood. But this topic in particular made her cringe and afraid at the same time. She knew that this kind of statement would trigger Julian's nose for business, immediately catching his attention, even worse, if he was drinking.
You promised me that you won't be playing with the crypto coins ever again.
Marin's angry face was red from the frustration.
Believe me, when this finishes, we will be able to retire forever.
Julian's answer wasn't satisfactory at all. They had been saving to buy a small apartment for the last 5 years. But instead, Julian spent it all on a new type of digital coin. He made small gains, and also big losses, with the fledgling market. But this time, he had an inside tip. A company would airdrop 100 times the value of any early investment. Julian knew the risks, although he decided to bet anyway. At midnight, January 29th, the airdrop succeeded. In the wink of an eye, he turned 50,000 into 5 million. But that wasn't all. Julian realized that he could immediately reinvest that amount one more time. At exactly 11:59 p.m., on that very day, they became multimillionaires.
Scene 2.
Marin and Julian got engaged the following month. They moved from their tiny apartment to a luxurious 4-bedroom mansion in an exclusive neighborhood. They were closer to her family, ready to become parents.
When you have a bank account with 9 digits, life gets really easy.
Julian was speaking with his friend, inside of his new electric supercar, equipped with a holographic video call system.
Is that a Lusovolt 500?
Asked Elias.
Yes. The name comes from the fact that there are only 500 of these on the whole planet. I'm driving one of them.
The following years were a mixed bag of emotions. They moved to an even bigger mansion, raising 3 kids. Eventually, their marriage ended up repetitive. They had enough money to enjoy the rest of their lives without working. However, Julian and Marin missed their old small apartment. Struggling each month to pay the bills, but together in their souls. With this amount of money, they got a lot of attention from the press and the sensational media, but also dangerous hackers and scammers. For security reasons, they decided to store all their cryptos on a specific kind of hardware wallet. It could only be accessed using both their retina's unique shapes at the same time. This premium device cost a little fortune itself, around 30 grand, but came with exclusive services. Their fingerprints were taken for each one by a technician, using an ECG scanner. To avoid any possibility of unauthorized access, they must put their eyes on the device at the same time, while holding it on small metallic plates. The wallet only unlocked if both the retinas and their heart rates match with the registered ones. This device used a new kind of encryption technique that even the manufacturer couldn't unlock. It was a perfect, unhackable device. But it also came with a risk.
Second act. The Sinclair Institute.
Jasmine Galvez was using the espresso machine to make her early morning coffee. She started as a software engineer at the Sinclair Institute not long ago, fascinated with the opportunity to work for the mysterious Maxwell husk. But so far, she hasn't had a challenge for her coding skills. Then, her phone rang, unexpectedly.
Hey Jasmine. There is a gentleman on the line who wants to talk with you now.
The dispatcher sounded nervous.
Who is it?
She asked, still confused and sleepy. It wasn't common to have clients calling at 6:30 a.m. on a Tuesday.
I don't really know, but he must be someone important. The call was forwarded straight from management.
It's okay. Parse him through, I guess.
Jasmine was still confused, barely awake. But she had no option other than to take this call.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Galvez, from Maxwell Husk team.
I know, Miss Galvez. Please, I need you to take a look at my problem. I'm desperate.
Julian's voice on the phone sounded sad, nervous, and exhausted. Jasmine recognized him from the news. She tried to remember his name, but the only words that came to her mind were crypto wallet encryption fiasco.
Yes, and you are.
I'm Price, Julian Price.
He paused for a moment, realizing she already knew who he was.
You might be aware of my situation.
Of course, you are the genius who can't open his crypto wallet with how much? 300 million?
Right now, I have 5 times that amount locked in. I'm willing to compensate anyone who can help me opening this damn thing.
We can give it a try, but you know that QES it's virtually impenetrable.
Jasmine's voice sounded defeated. Even at the Sinclair Institute, working with Maxwell himself, they wouldn't be able to tackle such a challenge with their current resources.
I am willing to give up 95% of it.
Julian said, with a dead serious voice.
No tricks, no fine print. I just need this thing open, at any cost.
Tech note: Quantum Entanglement Security, or QES, is a standard for encryption that can take a supercomputer 1,000 years to brute force, or even a quantum computer 10 years to solve, at minimum. Scene 4.
Maxwell was sitting inside his electric massage chair, at the back of his office, when Jasmine burst in, unannounced.
Are you not knocking anymore? What if I wasn't alone here?
Well, that would be a first.
Jasmine answered in the same sarcastic tone.
What's going on? Is it really worth interrupting my very important schedule?
He rushed to close a trivia website he was playing on his laptop.
Yes, this is the kind of thing that will make you get up from that chair. Remember the crypto guy with the quantum wallet?
Maxwell looked the other way instantly, opening back the game. He couldn't remember his name, or the amount of money he supposedly had locked in, but he clearly recalled the letters QES, printed on the hardware wallet.
God, who cares?
He said while yawning.
You know quantum encryption is out of reach. Why are you telling me this, or even talking about it?
Management wants us to try. The guy already signed a bounty contract. He will give up 95% of anything recovered.
95%, you said.
He jumped from his chair.
But those coins are trading at 156,000 each. He had more than 9,000 of those.
His eyes went blank for a minute. He always did that while making mental calculations.
1.5 billion in total. That means that we can keep more than 1 billion after taxes, if we crack it.
Jasmine completed her phrase with enthusiasm.
Scene 5.
The meeting was short but clear. The Institute management wanted Maxwell with his team to unlock the device, no matter what. But there was a catch. The wallet only allowed 3 wrong attempts. 2 of them had already been wasted. The first one, when Julian tried to open the wallet by himself. The second, when a group of alleged hackers tried to brute force it. After 3 wrong attempts, the device, equipped with a small amount of uranium-298, would completely wipe out itself in less than 5 seconds. Maxwell called his hardware expert to the back office at the Institute. Jabari Marshall entered the room, immediately grabbing the wallet in his hands, testing the metallic plates. He was a really big and strong guy, far from the stereotypical engineer.
Be careful, please.
Jasmine asked nicely.
I know that you have a lot of strength in those hands.
Jabari blushed, but it wasn't noticeable. Sometimes, his dark skin was a blessing to disguise his rushing emotions. He put the device back on the workbench.
What's your verdict?
What do you mean?
Well, can you interfere with the quantum field from the outside to retrieve the private key using a spectrum analyzer?
Yes, of course. Then I can pray to the giant flying spaghetti monster to 3D print the keys, too.
He laughed out loud, turning back to Jasmine, who was reading at blazing speed on her tablet.
Even if we have the computing power, the quantum field would never be sufficiently aligned to be decrypted.
She was scrolling through hundreds of research papers, unaware of their sarcastic dialogue. Some years ago, they hacked into Eastern European research centers, downloading more than 1 million documents. The described techniques in some of the papers were so advanced that even the 3 of them together were not able to comprehend fully.
I found some ideas, but they are all purely theoretical, never tested on real devices.
Remember that we only have one try before it all gets wiped out forever.
Scene 6.
The 3 of them spent 5 whole days looking at the device, reading about the mysterious QES, and all of its variants. There were reports a year ago about similar wallets being hacked, but on much cheaper unknown brands.
The quality of the QES algorithm is undeniable. The encryption is solid, impenetrable.
Jasmine was reading out loud the conclusions of the 687th paper, since she started the investigation. It was almost a full week from Julian's initial call. Even having replicas of the device in their hands wasn't helping.
At least we can waste these once.
Jabari asked Maxwell, pointing to 4 boxes with the same hardware wallet, brand new.
Yes, but they still cost 30 grand each, so not free at all.
I know. Remember that I started with crypto way before all of you even knew that it existed.
Oh yes. The magnificent rebel, decentralized utopic money that now is mostly held by scammers and traders.
Jabari didn't answer immediately, but after a while he said,
There isn't only greed and deception in crypto. You can find honest-driven projects too.
Maxwell started flipping his phone in the air, again and again. After 30 seconds, he asked Jabari,
Can you mention 5 such projects?
He started recollecting in his mind. But he wasn't able to list more than 3.
Touché.
Scene 7.
What behaves like QES but doesn't?
Maxwell was typing these words on his keyboard when a dim purple light flashed across the room. Arya could be easily activated by voice, but he was trying to do it quietly, without prompting a vocal response. The Advanced Recognition Intelligent Agent, or ARIA for short, was a state-of-the-art supercomputer inside the Institute. Powered by a modular reactor, hidden in the facility's basement.
The EQC, or elliptic quantum curve, could be easily disguised as QES, but just being a fancier ECC.
Maxwell's eyes opened widely. While reading the results brought by Arya on the screen, he couldn't believe it.
Could it be possible that this expensive crypto wallet was faking real QES encryption? Arya, run a scan of the wallet specifications from every possible online source you have access to.
Purple lights illuminated the entire room this time. It was a way to indicate power consumption and the difficulty of the tasks.
I am sorry, Maxwell. The technical specs of that model aren't publicly available. Is there any device within reach that I can physically analyze?
You don't have arms or hands, Arya. You can't do any physical examination. How many times do we need to discuss this?
Maxwell's reaction wasn't unusual. He couldn't believe that even after years of development, the super AI still confused simple constraints. Arya apologized.
Can you upload a picture of the schematics?
Yes, that I can do.
Maxwell answered, while reading an old blog post with leaked diagrams, revealed by a former employee who left the manufacturer for ethical reasons.
Third act. A faked entanglement.
There is no QES at all.
Jabari sounded both confused and happy.
Nothing. Zero. Nada. Nisht.
Maxwell answered between laughter.
Isn't that considered false advertising?
That's fool and fraud. No doubts about it.
Arya's voice commands activated her listening mode too. She confirmed everyone's suspicions. The company behind the crypto wallet was overstating the capabilities of the device. There was some encryption method implemented, but not true QES, just an elliptic quantum curve. The difference might sound trivial, but Maxwell, Jasmine, and Jabari knew that it could be hacked.
Every startup sells the future. Because the present is never enough.
Maxwell concluded with a somber tone in his voice.
You realize that this could put at risk all the crypto wallets from this company in the world, right?
Yes. That's why we will inform them through the proper channels. But first, we have a bounty to claim.
Scene 9.
The Institute manager stood mesmerized. She was still unable to pronounce a single word. They can pocket more than $1 billion, if Maxwell was correct. Fortunately, that was usually the case.
So, we can't go public with the fraud now, but we can tell Julian Price?
Yes, exactly.
Maxwell's answer wasn't too energetic.
Is there something wrong?
No, we are just tired and a bit disappointed.
He knew that this challenge wasn't about technical skills anymore. Now, it was all about politics or doing the right thing. Even if that meant protecting a company that lied to their clients, to spare them of potential losses.
Can we just go public now? This is a case of international fraud.
No, Maxwell, we need to protect the users. They are also victims here.
She sensed his frustration.
But consider how much bigger our budget, our team and infrastructure could be with this bounty.
Yes, they will be glad about their generous bonuses that you promised, right?
What bonuses? What are you talking about?
She stopped the phrase immediately, when realized the smile on Maxwell's face.
At least, can we have new equipment?
More devices? You and your team are amongst the best equipped in the country.
Again, she realized too late that he was smiling.
Let's get the bounty first. Then we can discuss how to spend it.
Scene 10.
Julian's face was almost in tears. He lost all hopes of recovering his treasure after the first 2 attempts. He was really afraid of executing the process this last time. But if somebody was able to help him, it was Maxwell Husk, from the Sinclair Institute.
Before we proceed, can you sign this agreement again? 95% of anything recovered will be ours, right?
Yes, no problem.
Julian said without hesitation, while signing the paper.
All right then, we can proceed.
Jasmine and Jabari started working on the device. The hacking process wasn't too complex, although really slow indeed.
So, all this because of one silly infidelity? Was she, or he, worth it?
Maxwell's question was completely out of line, but Julian didn't even look at him.
Maxwell. Please.
Jasmine scolded him, angry.
What? It was all around the news. That is exactly why you never set up a crypto wallet with a partner. Because divorce can still happen.
But Julian ignored him. He was looking at Jabari finishing the steps on the device. He wasn't tech-savvy, but he understood that if the wallet's light turned green, it would be open. Any other color would meant that his treasures were lost, forever. Suddenly. Click. The crypto wallet made a distinctive sound, like an unlocked door.
That's it. We've made it.
Jabari informed the rest of the room. Julian started crying, holding the device in his hands.
Well, I know money is pretty important, but this much?
Maxwell asked, in a serious tone. Julian took a couple of minutes to recover himself. He connected the device to a nearby computer.
Just watch.
He asked while navigating a gallery folder. Jabari, Maxwell, and Jasmine stared at the big screen, when a picture of Julian with Marin hugging their 3 kids opened in full screen. Then, Julian started crying again. Jabari hugged him with his big arms, while Jasmine handed a handkerchief. Julian said, with a broken voice.
We were never divorced, Maxwell.
But All the media showed that.
Julian interrupted him.
Yes. That was all fabrications, completely on purpose. You see. My family died in a car accident 1 year ago. Marin was driving our supercar when one of the batteries exploded, burning the whole vehicle. Our 3 kids were in the back seat.
Jasmine and Jabari burst into tears. Julian started scrolling more pictures on the screen. Then Maxwell realized.
Scene 11.
There is no crypto in the device, right?
0. But these are my most valuable treasures. All of our videos and family pictures were stored on this device, to avoid paparazzi from stealing and blackmailing us.
But why lie about the accident?
Jasmine asked.
The car company offered me a substantial amount of money to hide all the evidence. Since I was already broke, I had no other option.
You mean you had no crypto millions anymore? Even outside this wallet?
Nothing at all, Maxwell. I've lost everything during the last market downturn.
The team looked at each other, realizing that they would have to break down the news to the Institute management.
But why don't you ask for help to recover the files?
Jasmine was curious about that lie.
You know how many posts I did before? Asking for help cracking a device with this level of encryption? More than 7,000 requests were cordially declined by security experts around the world. Only when I mentioned the possibility of a reward, they started taking me seriously.
But you still owe us.
Maxwell shouted at Julian, holding the contract signed just minutes ago.
95% of everything recovered.
Oh, yes. You can keep all the videos if you want. I just needed to see their faces one last time.
They realized that the words crypto, currency, or money were never mentioned at all, at any point in the contract. They were so blinded about the theoretical value of the coins that they just focused on the percentage of the bounty. The team went back to the Institute, but they were too embarrassed to go clean with Julia Sinclair. Maxwell and Julian Price agreed to state that the attempt was a failure, making the device wiped itself out. They contacted the wallet maker to disclose their findings. The company offered them a $10 million reward in exchange for not making it public for 1 year, so they could fix the root cause and marketing materials in addition to quietly recalling the broken devices. Even if they didn't agree on this outcome, some money would be better than nothing. When they arrived back that afternoon, a mysterious, androgynous individual was playing inside Maxwell's office. Wearing a kind of virtual reality device that they had never seen before, the person, with blonde, short hair, took off the glasses saying,
Hi. I'm Sam Carter. Pleased to meet you all.
To be continued.